So if you're a self-published author, one of the big questions that you'll come across time and time again is whether you should enroll your book in the KDP Select program or if you should have wide distribution. So that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're going to be covering a bunch of different things. We're going to be talking about the KDP Select program, what it is, what the rules are, what are the pros and cons, some things that you need to know before you enroll your book in KDP Select, and lastly, we're also going to be talking about what is right for you and your book. Should your book be in KDP Select, or should you try out wide distribution? And I'm doing this video because my books were on wide distribution and I just recently made the switch it to Kindle Unlimited. So now all of my books, nonfiction and fiction, are now on Kindle Unlimited. We'll be talking more about that in a little bit, but if you want weekly videos on the business of being an author, then be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon so you'll never miss a new upload. This video is actually part of my Beginner's Guide to Self-Publishing a Book series here on YouTube. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to watch all the videos in the playlist. The playlist will be linked down below, and in that playlist, I cover all the big things that you need to know about distribution and self-publishing your book for the first time. So first things first, what is KDP Select? The biggest rule is that you can't have your ebook available anywhere else. Your ebook is exclusive to Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing. Another big rule is that you can't give out your book for free anymore. So let's say you had a first book in your series and you're using that book as a lead magnet for your author newsletter. So if someone signed up for your newsletter, they got a free ebook, they read it, they love it, and they'll buy the rest of the books in the series. Well, you can't do that with Kindle Unlimited because Amazon, like I said, owns the exclusive rights to that book for when it's enrolled in KDP Select. What you can do is give out the first 10% of your book as a free sample. So that way you're still able to have your book enrolled in KDP Select and you're not breaking any rules. So then all you have to do is figure out the math behind what the first 10% of your book is. You can use that to create like maybe a downloadable PDF that you can give to your readers, and that way you still have an opt-in for your newsletter. Another rule behind KDP Select is that it lasts for at least 90 days. So when you enroll your book into KDP Select, you're agreeing to have your book exclusive to Amazon for 90 days. Now after the 90 days, you can choose to unenroll your book, but you are stuck for those 90 days. Personally, my books actually started out on KDP Select and I tried out the program not really knowing what I was doing, and then I switched to wide distribution and now I'm switching again back to KDP Select. And as we go through the pros and cons of everything, I'll talk more about why I made that decision. Now, another important thing that you should know is that KDP Select is just for your ebook. It's not for your print book. So you can still sell your paperbacks and hardcovers anywhere else. You can sell them anywhere online, on your website. You can sell them at book signings. That doesn't matter. All KDP Select cares about is the ebook exclusivity. Now, with that said, what about sending out review copies? Because a lot of authors, myself included, enjoy using free ebooks as a way to send out to reviewers to get more reviews of their book on Amazon or anywhere else. Now, this is, I do believe, a slight gray area. I tried to find like specific rules of it on Amazon, but from what I understand is that if you are sending your book individually one by one to each reviewer, that's fine. But what I don't think you should be doing is having like maybe a button on your website for reviewers to click to download a free copy of the book. So anytime you do want to send out review copies of the book, you have to do that manually through email rather than using like some sort of form that people fill out. So now that we have all the rules out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the pros of having your book in KDP Select. First things first is that you can go ahead and create Kindle countdown deals. Now with all the little things that I talk about today, Kindle has some like specific rules as to how often you can run a Kindle countdown deal and how long that deal can be. But today we're just talking about the big picture of what these different features are. So a Kindle countdown deal is basically you run a sale on your book. There's a few different ways you can do a Kindle countdown deal, because one of the cool features about the Kindle countdown deal and why it's called a Kindle countdown is that you can start it out at a super cheap price, but as each day goes by, the price will go up a little bit more until it eventually gets back to the original list price. So if your book is normally $3.99 for the ebook, you can do a Kindle countdown deal where it's 99 cents, and then the next day it's $1.99, and then the next day it's $2.99 until finally it's back to being $3.99. Now the exact breakdown of this depends on how long you want your sale to be and how many intervals you want. It's actually really easy to set up when you're on your KDP dashboard. You just hit that little promote button, you say you want to do a Kindle countdown deal, you say how many intervals you want to have, and you set it up all through there, and it's very clear on when the sale is and when the price will change. Now the cool part about this is that when you run the Kindle countdown sale, it's very clearly displayed on the Amazon page, so customers know this is a sale. It's not just that you change the price. This is a sale. It's temporary. The price will go back up again. So it creates a sense of urgency in the reader. Because if you aren't through KDP Select, if you want to do a price promo like this, you need to go ahead and go into your dashboard, change the price, save it. It takes about 24 hours to update, and then it just looks like you changed the price of the book. It doesn't look like it's on sale, it just looks like you changed the price. Whereas when you do the KDP Select, you can go ahead and make it display as a sale and create that sense of urgency. Now, if you don't like the idea of the countdown where the price goes up a little bit over time, you can choose to have just one interval, and then during the time of that sale, it'll stay at that one sale price, whatever it is that you choose, and then when the sale ends, it'll go back to the regular price. Speaking of which, that is actually what I'm doing for Meet Me at the Summit right now. So I wanted to celebrate the fact that all my books are available on Kindle Unlimited. This means that Essence, She's Not Here, I Am Mercy, and of course Meet Me at the Summit are all available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you're a Kindle Unlimited reader, you can start reading those books for free. But if you're not a Kindle Unlimited member, no worries, because I've got you covered, because I ran a Kindle countdown deal for Meet Me at the Summit. So from now until April 23rd, 2022, you can actually download Meet Me at the Summit for 99 cents. So I wanted you guys to know that so you can take full advantage of it. Please be sure to download the book, read it. I hope you love it. Write a review on Amazon. Now, the great part about being on KDP Select is that even when you run these sales, you can still keep your 70% royalty rate, because in case you didn't know it, when you change the price of your book manually to 99 cents, Amazon changes it so you only get a 30% royalty rate because the price of the book is so low. But if you're a KDP Select member and you change it to 99 cents, you still get to keep your 70% royalty rate. And it's more than just putting your book on sale. When you run book sales, you want to do a lot of book marketing outside of just that sale. You want to point people to the sale. And the idea is that you promote and promote and promote the book so as many people download it as possible. And then when Amazon sees that a lot of people are downloading your book, they're going to automatically push the book a little bit more. It'll push it up in the algorithm so it might show up in search more. It'll also rank better in Amazon's charts. That way more people are seeing your book, so that even when the sale ends, it's still a little bit more visible, so you can still get more sales even after the sale is over. Now, the next benefit of KDP Select is that you can can run free book promotions. This means instead of having your book on sale, you're actually giving your book away for free. Now, why the heck would you want to do that? It's actually very strategic and a very effective tool, especially if you write book series. This is actually very similar to how you want to have a lead magnet to your newsletter where you give out free downloads or something where people get something for free and they sign up to your newsletter and now you have access to them in your inbox. It's a little bit of the same thing where let's say you have a 5-book series and you do a free book promotion on the first book in the series. The idea is that they download the first book for free because there's no risk to it. They read it, they love it, and then they're gonna go ahead and read the rest of the books in the series that aren't free. Now again, there's a lot of strategy that goes into this. You obviously don't want to just put your book up for free and not do anything else. When you're doing a free book promo like this, you want to do a lot of marketing outside of that. Whether you're doing a bunch of newsletter features or you're doing newsletter swaps or you're doing some sort of social media campaign, again, you want to point as many people to the free book as possible. Plus, like I said, even if the book is free, Amazon still sees it as people downloading the book. So then they see it as something that readers are enjoying and liking. So they might promote it a little bit more so that even when the book is no longer listed for free, again, you'll still have more customers buying the book afterward. So let's talk about the third benefit of KDP Select, and this is the thing that I think people get the most confused about. Authors aren't sure if they like this or if they love it, but the third benefit is that you can enroll your book into Kindle Unlimited. And Kindle Unlimited is basically an ebook subscription. So readers pay a certain dollar amount a month. I believe right now it's $9.99. So readers are paying $9.99 and they have unlimited access to any ebooks that are enrolled in Kindle Unlimited. So they can read as much as they want. Readers can read a book a day, 3 books a day, however much time they have to read. Now, this gets confusing for authors because it's like if they're only paying $9.99 and they're possibly reading 10, 20, 50 books a month, how do I get paid? So when your book is enrolled in Kindle Unlimited, payment is on a page read basis. So when you're on your KDP dashboard, there's actually 2 different charts. There's one chart that says how many books have been sold or shipped, and then there's another chart that says how many pages have been read. So you can look and see how many pages have been read every single day. And as someone who's had a couple of my books on Kindle Unlimited for a long time, I can tell you that there are some days where there are no page reads and other days where there's a couple hundred pages read, which is always satisfying to see. Now, the payment amount is not concrete, like there's no set payment per page read. It changes from month to month, but from the research I've done, you get about less than a cent per page read. But also keep in mind, pages are like pages on a tablet or pages on a phone or whatever e-reader that they're using. Basically, it's really hard for authors to understand exactly how much they're getting paid for their book, which is why a lot of authors don't like it, because we like that when we sell an ebook everywhere else, it's very clear we're making this many dollars off of that book. And yeah, you can argue that you're probably making significantly less through the Kindle Unlimited program per book. But the big benefit about Kindle Unlimited is that readers are more likely to read a Kindle Unlimited book if they're a Kindle Unlimited member because they're already paying that membership price. So if they see a book that they've never heard of from an author that they've never heard of, but the premise of it sounds really good, they're more likely to download that book and read it because to them, it's free. They already paid their monthly membership. Whereas in any other case, someone might not take the chance on that book because they don't want to pay $2.99 or $3.99 or however much you list your book as. Basically, the biggest benefit of having your book enrolled in Kindle Unlimited is that you eliminate any risk that a reader may feel towards buying your book. People who are Kindle Unlimited readers are avid readers. They're readers that are reading a ton of books books, and they know what they like and they know what they don't like. So if your book follows a certain stereotype or trope or genre that a reader loves and adores, they are more likely to purchase and download your book if it's on Kindle Unlimited, because again, to them, they're just downloading a book for free. And the best part is, for Amazon, whether they read just a couple pages or the whole thing, Amazon still counts it as one book being downloaded in terms of the algorithm. So if you have 20 people reading your book on Kindle Unlimited in one day, Amazon sees that as 20 book sales. It may not seem like that to you because you're not getting that clear royalty rate of 20 books being sold, but Amazon is gonna push books that are getting the most downloads, and those are the books that are gonna rise in the rankings on the Amazon bestseller list. So that kind of wraps up all the pros of having your book on KDP Select. So let's go ahead and talk about the cons, because while the pros are really great and awesome tools, there are quite some significant cons. So obviously the biggest con that we've already talked about quite a bit is that you can't have your ebook available elsewhere, but there's also a few other things that you need to know. It's gonna be really difficult for you, and sometimes even impossible, for your book to end up on other bestseller lists if your book is exclusive to Amazon. This is because for other bestseller lists, it's better to have your book have wide distribution, because that's more of an opportunity for you to sell as many books as possible, therefore qualifying for certain bestseller lists like USA Today. So if that's something that's super important to you, enrolling your book in Kindle Unlimited may not be the best idea, because you're gonna wanna learn how to do wide distribution for your book in order to sell as many books in as many places as possible. And of course, another con is the fact there are some readers that you will just never reach, because there are some readers that only read their ebooks from iTunes or the Google Play Store or any of those other different places. So let's say someone has a Nook device, which is a Barnes & Noble device, which means the only place they can buy ebooks is through Barnes & Noble. So if your ebook is exclusive to Amazon, then there's a whole group of readers that own and use Nook, that you will just never reach. But with that said, Amazon does take up most of the market in terms of ebook sales, which is why a lot of people are willing to overlook that, but it's definitely something that you want to be mindful of. This is actually one of the biggest reasons why I did end up switching to Kindle Unlimited, because I just really never saw much of anything in terms of sales for wide distribution. I didn't know what I was doing in terms of wide distribution. I feel like I have a pretty clear idea of the type of marketing I want to do to promote my book on Kindle Unlimited, but I always struggled with doing specific marketing to wide distribution. So for that reason, I never really saw sales outside of Amazon. I would say about 96% of my sales were always through Amazon. So it just wasn't worth the time and effort of having my book in other places when I do want to take advantage of the benefits of having my book on Kindle Unlimited. It definitely comes down to your personal opinion and what you're most comfortable with. I personally feel that no matter what you choose, whether your book is on Kindle Select or whether your book has wide distribution, you can succeed either way, because I personally think one is not better than the other. They both have pros and cons, and you just have to see what you like most. And the best part is that you can change over time. You can always re-enroll your book on Kindle Select, or you can take it out of the Kindle Select program. You have that option. It's not like you're stuck in one place once you make a decision. Whatever you choose, you have to make sure that you market to whatever platforms your book are on. Because if you do wide distribution and you're only ever pushing people to Amazon, so of course you're not going to see sales on Barnes & Noble or iTunes or on the Google Play Store. People don't even know your book is there. And that's really the biggest thing that I struggled with, is that I didn't know how to market my book for wide distribution. I didn't know how to take advantage of having my book elsewhere. But what I do know is Amazon, and that's why I'm switching to it. So if you do end up choosing to go wide with your distribution, just make sure that you continue to promote your book everywhere, not just Amazon. This means if you're doing something like Facebook ads, you can market market to people who own Nook readers and who read exclusively on Nook, and you can point them to your book on Barnes & Noble rather than Amazon. Another important note is that Google Play and having your book on Google Play has significantly less competition than other ebook distributors. And that's just because one of the most popular ebook distribution services for wide distribution is Draft to Digital. But even if you publish your book on Draft to Digital, it does not publish it to Google Play. You have to publish it separately yourself to Google Play. So because of that, a lot of authors actually kind of forget or skip the step of publishing their book on Google Play, and that's something that you can take advantage of as an author who chooses wide distribution, and you can put your book on the Google Play Store kind of knowing that there's less competition, whereas Amazon is the opposite. There's a lot of people on Amazon and a lot of people publishing their books either exclusively or wide on Amazon. So basically, you're guaranteed that if a book is published, it's on Amazon, but that's not necessarily the case with other ebook distributors. So what I'm trying to say is that you can make either option work for you. I'm gonna see if the KDP Select program is what's best for my book. So I guess you could call it an experiment. I kind of anticipate it working out because one of my plans is to continue doing these promo deals that I talked to you guys about, whether the book is on sale or the book is for free. But one thing I want to push is that when I'm promoting my book on social media or doing ads or anything like that, I want to remind people that they can read the book for free at any time if they're a Kindle Unlimited member. Because to me, that's a huge benefit that readers don't have to take a chance on my book. They can read it for free at any time whenever they want, as long as they're a KU member. And that's going to be the biggest marketing tactic that I use going forward, and I hope to share the results here with you guys on my YouTube channel. If it all goes well, or maybe it doesn't go well and I switch back to wide distribution, you guys will be the first to know. So that is it. Let me know what you think of the KDP Select program, if your books are enrolled in the KDP Select program or if they're wide distribution, and let me know your thought process behind why you chose the type of distribution you did, because I think every author kind of comes at it from a different angle. And I do think that there's no right or wrong answer, and it all just comes down to what type of marketing we want to do. If you want even more content, then be sure to join as a YouTube member, because I post monthly exclusive videos where I talk about goal setting and my author income. So if you want to see those videos, be sure to join. The button will be down below. Otherwise, that is it for today, and I will talk to you all next week.